All right. First and foremost, we give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Christ, Yahweh Shai. His brother, Chief Priest, Allah Zarban Loya, a.k.a. the Gorilla Hebrew.
It's the priest Assad.
And we back at y'all with another Chronicles class through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Picking up where we left off from in the book of Joshua. Joshua 9, starting at Joshua chapter 9. And we're going to start at the top. Shalom. For everybody rocking with us. Either late night or early morning, depending on, who you are, what your schedule is, where you at. All praise Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's get it in, man. Go ahead. Let's start. Top of Joshua 9. Zabijah, soldiers, Abijah, Shalom. Go ahead.
This is Joshua chapter 9, verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass, when all the kings which were on this side Jordan, in the hills and in the valleys, and in all the coasts of the great sea, over against Lebanon, the Hittite and the Amorite and the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite heard thereof, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord."
So here come the Canaanites, these Hamites. They're mounting up against us, right? As we come to take the land that, they've been living in and enjoying, right? Go ahead.
It says, "And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard..."
You got to put that over there. Too close to the mic. Go ahead.
It says, "And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done unto Jericho and to Ai, they did work willily, and went and made as if they had been ambassadors, and took old sacks upon their asses, and wine bottles old and rent and bound up, and old shoes and clouded upon their feet, and old garments upon them, and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy. And they went to Joshua unto the camp at Gilgal."
So here come these particular Hamites. It said they came to act. They heard about the mighty and valiant works of the Most High had done through Israel in previous towns, right, at Ai and at Jericho. So now they're saying, okay, we're gonna go about this a different way. We ain't gonna see these guys head up. They're too mighty. So instead we're gonna try to catch them with guile, essentially. So they came to us like they were ambassadors and they were lowly, right? That's what all these, ripped up garments and all that is to deceive, right? So read on.
It says, "And they went to Joshua unto the camp at Gilgal, and said unto him and to the men of Israel, We be come from a far country. Now therefore make ye a league with us."
Now they want to join up. Make thee a league with us, right? Go ahead.
It says, "And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, Peradventure ye dwell among us, and how shall we make a league with you? And they said unto Joshua, We are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, Who are ye, and from whence come ye?"
So Joshua was saying, okay, you going to be our servants. All right, well, who in the hell are you? And where did you come from? Right, read on.
And they said unto him, From a very far country.
They won't even identify. We come from far. We're just from far away. Right, go ahead.
"Thy servants are come, because of the name of Yahweh thy God."
So now pause that. Hold that. Give me Deuteronomy 7. There's a reason why Joshua is making this inquisition. Okay, Joshua is making a very specific inquisition here for a very specific purpose. Who in the hell are you? Where did you come from before I agree to make a league with you? Right? So read that 7 and starting at the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. "When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess
So when I bring you into Israel so you can possess Israel, read on.
"And hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites."
See that? These people, right? Now let's skip down to the third verse.
No, it's 2.
Okay, verse 2. Right, so all of these people, right? Read on.
7 nations greater and mightier than thou. No, 3. All right, so verse 3, it says, "Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Read on.
Nor his daughter unto thy son."
Read on.
It was verse 2. My fault. Verse 2. "And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them."
So the Most High already commanded us, these 7 people who you're getting ready to displace and take the land from, you cannot make covenant with these 7 nations. So this is why Joshua's being so emphatic about who are you and where in the hell do you come from. I need to know this because we are commanded not to make covenant with certain groups of people. So I need to know if you're among these people, right? So go ahead back to Joshua.
I just had a point too, because y'all have someone go into that and see, that's so evil. Look at the Israelites; they're just going and killing people. Well, if you look right here in Joshua, this is the Lord tells us that He gives us these commandments for good. So the Most High already knew, because He declared the end from the beginning, that the damn heathens, specifically these 7 nations, were going to try to click up on us and then try to come as if they're ambassadors and try to supplant us. So He just said, get rid of them so they don't even have the opportunity to do that. This is Joshua chapter 9, verse 9. Verse 9 again. It says, and they said unto him, from a very far country thy servants are come.
Yeah, they won't identify themselves because these people, the inhabitants of Gibeon, before we took it and possessed it, once we took it, that became an allotment of the tribe of Benjamin, right? Benjamin possessed that. But at this time, prior to us taking it and conquesting it, these people who are coming to us, they are Hivites. If you remember, in Deuteronomy 7, the Hivites were amongst the people we were forbidden from making covenant with, the people who we were coming to displace. Right? This is why they don't want to identify themselves. Right? So read on.
It says, thy servants are come because of the name of Yahweh thy God. For we have heard the fame of him and all that he did in Egypt.
They're just scared. That's really what it is. They're just afraid. Okay? So they're afraid. They don't want to take an L like their people did at Jericho. All right? So now they're trying to come with an okie doke. Right? So read on.
It says, and all that he did to the 2 kings of the Amorites and were beyond Jordan, to Sihon, king of Heshbon, and to Og, king of Bashan.
Right, read on.
Which was at Ashtaroth. Wherefore our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spake to us, saying, take victuals with you for the journey, and go to meet them.
Tiberius, go ahead.
And say unto them, we are your servants, therefore now make ye a league with us. This our bread we took hot for our provision out of our houses on the day we came forth to go unto you. But now, behold, it is dry, and it is moldy. And these bottles of wine which we filled were new, and behold, they be rent. And these our garments and our shoes are become old by reason of the very long journey.
So the reason why they put on all this old stuff was to make it look like, man, we came from so far away. We came from so far away that over the course of this journey, everything that we had decayed. That's how far we are. We're not close. They're trying to perpetrate themselves to Israel as if they are not these Canaanitish people who are set against and we're going to war against. Right? That's a deception. Right? Ooh, we'll go ahead and read that. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
The serpent is more subtle than any beast of the field. Because you have to understand that the serpent and who that represents is the proto-Canaanite, the same way Adam and his people, the Adamites, the chosen lineage, represents the proto-Israelites. They're the prototype of our people pre-flood. Well, the serpent is the prototype of the Canaanites pre-flood. Contrary to popular belief, the serpent is not the white man. It's impossible because the white man is Cain, which is the son of Adam. Right? So, no, it's not the white man. Who the parallel of the serpent is pre-flood and post-flood is the Canaanites. And this is a testament to their subtlety. All right? Then somebody came and out-subtiled them. Who out-subtiled them? Esau. But Esau wasn't on the scene, so at that time, the serpent was the most subtle of the beasts of the field because there was no white man at that time. All right? So go ahead.
Kind of just shows you that subtle, that crafty, that cunning nature of these people. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, verse 14. It says, and the men took of their victuals and asked not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. And Joshua made peace with them and made a league with them to let them live.
See that? They got over on Josh. They tricked old Joshy up from the tribe of Ephraim. He made league, not realizing he did something wrong. Yeah. He did something wrong. What did he do wrong? He did exactly what he wasn't supposed to do, but he didn't know it, right? It's not like he did it purposely. But you have to make people identify who they are nationally. This is why it's important to ask somebody what their nationality is, man. Because we got rules and regulations. How we deal with specific nations. There's general laws and rules for how we deal with other nations in general and how we deal with our nation. Blackjack, Yahweh, Shemel, Shah, Barakatah, Wata, Wata. But there are specific legislation in our law that is for specific people. The Canaanites, there's a specific way we deal with the Canaanites. It's a specific way we deal with the Syrians. It's a specific way we deal with the Egyptians. It's a specific way we deal with Moab and Ammon, right? And it's also specific what we do at Amalek, right? So read on.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. When Joshua says, "Who are ye and whence come ye?" That's who. What's your nationality?
What's your nationality? So we're supposed to ask that. For these Christians out here that are constantly condemning, why do we lead with what's your nationality? Right? That's a question that Israelites ask. Who art thou? Where does thou come from? Job 8:8, seek thou your father, right? The lineage of your father. So read.
This is Joshua chapter 9, verse 15 again. It says, "And Joshua made peace with them and made a league with them to let them live. And the princes of the congregation swore unto them. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days after they had made a league with them, that they heard that they were their neighbors and that they dwelt among them." So the jig is up now.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
"And the children of Israel journeyed and came unto their cities on the third day. Now their cities were Gibeon, Chephirah, and Beroth."
So they came to the land of the Hivites. This is why we can't let people go, well, you can't. Look at what the heathens do when you let them amongst you.
Yeah.
We learn from the mistakes of our forefathers. We don't let them amongst us. Over there later for y'all. Read on.
It says, "And Kirjath Jearim, and the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had swore unto them by Yahweh of Israel."
So because now we're in a conundrum. Because the Bible, give me that ass in the sin. Now the princes of Israel are in a conundrum. Right? A very unique conundrum. They were not supposed to enter into covenant with these Canaanites. Being ignorant to the fact that they are Canaanites, entered into covenant with them. So now, because I entered into covenant and I swore peace to you, I can't kill you. I can't do anything to you because I swore peace to you. See that? That's crazy, right? But that's what happens sometimes. But you got that scripture?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 30:1. "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me." That's cold because I'm going to read Joshua 9:14. "And the men took their victuals and asked not counsel at the mouth of Yahweh."
See that? So they didn't seek the Most High on it. They just said, okay, man, y'all from far. I can tell by your clothes you guys had a far journey. And then within a couple days, they figure out, man, these niggas is full of it. These Canaanites.
Yeah.
They deceived us. See, but they didn't seek counsel of the Most High. They sucked the counsel of their flesh. And these are some of the issues that we see popping up. These are some of the issues that we see. Oh, the brother, you all the way out there in Germany, out of Angola. Okay, y'all are Bakongo. Are y'all Bakongo? But yeah, these are the issues that we see popping up in Joshua. We see Israel moving after the flesh a lot more than after the spirit that they should. And then we see the consequences and repercussions that come as a result of it. This is one of them. Other ones is just not fully being able to drive out these Canaanites. Okay, shalom, brother. We know the Bakongo are Israelites, man, for sure. Yeshaya Shalom. These are the issues that come up in the book of Joshua. Joshua kind of leading a little bit more, not to fault our beloved grand forefather, patriarch Joshua, but he kind of was moving in the flesh a little bit too much, and that led to be a detriment to Israel. Okay, as we'll see over the course of reading this history in the spirit, right? But go ahead.
It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin."
See, that's what's happened now. So we're not supposed to add sin to sin. So with us not adding sin to sin now, because we entered into covenant, even though we weren't supposed to enter into covenant with these people, because we swore to the Most High that we wouldn't do any harm to these people, we now can't do them any harm. So now we're in a pickle, because we're supposed to be doing harm to these people, but we've rendered ourselves unable to due to our mouths, okay? Due to entering into an oath that we were never supposed to enter into, going back to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, right? So read on.
Yeah, there's a scripture, I believe it says, "Do nothing without counsel."
That's right.
I believe. But let's go. There's Joshua chapter 9, verse 18. "And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, We have sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This we will do to them. We will ever let them live, lest wrath be upon us because of the oath which we swore unto them. And the princes said unto them, Let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation, as the princes had promised them.
So basically they said, all right, look, they can stay. We done messed up, right? But they can stay. But they're essentially going to be a slave class, a servant class amongst our people. That's all they're ever going to be. So what is this showing? Ethnic hierarchy again.
Yep.
Right? So read on.
It says, And the princes said unto them, it's like verse 22, And Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, Wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, We are very far from you, when ye dwell among us?
Why you lied to us? Right? Read on.
It says, Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen and hewers of wood.
You guys are going to be slaves to us. You want to live with us? That's fine. You're going to be our slaves. Right? Read on.
And hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God.
That's right. Go ahead.
And they answered Joshua and said, Because it was certainly told thy servants how that the Lord thy God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land.
See, and this is what's getting ready to happen in the kingdom of Yahushua. Right? The Lord is going to destroy with his son Yahushua the armies of these people. And what's going to be left of these people are going to be the people that go, we seen and heard of this great destruction that Christ has brought through these blacks and Hispanics all over the world. And we're going to voluntarily be your slaves because we'd rather serve you than meet your wrath.
Yeah.
This is what's coming to the world. The same thing that happened here in Joshua. These people, they did this deception only because they would rather be our slaves than meet our wrath. In every nation, you have warriors and people with dignity and might that are going to fight to the death for their people. And then you have people who are going to lay down. That's why blacks and Hispanics exist in America right now. Because who we are now, most of us, I speak for most of the tribes, not all the tribes, not the tribe of Levi. Levi, Reuben, right? To a degree, Simeon, didn't do much laying down. But the other 9 tribes did a lot of laying down. Okay. What do I mean? As in when the white man came and was forcing people to bow to their God and be their slave, you had certain people that rose up. And them people were quailed. They were taken down. And who was left was the people who were ready to get in line and get in order and get in gear and serve the white man.
Con.
That's how a lot of tribes even exist to this day.
Yeah.
Because they are the descendants of individuals who laid down in order for the preservation of that tribe. Right? So in every nation, you're going to see people who are going to lay down and people who ain't going to lay down. Jason Cord Cage, Yahbashim Yahshua Brakatah Wathawada. You're going to see that. So the people who are going to lay down amongst the nations, those people, they're going to serve the nation of Israel. They're going to serve us 1,000 years. And if they make it through that 1,000, with the exception of Edom, who at the culmination of that 1,000 years will face extermination, at the culmination of that 1,000 years, then they'll be able to go back into their land. But they're going to have to lay down to preserve their nation. Same way that these Hivites did from Gibeon right here with Joshua.
Huh.
Right? But go ahead.
Yeah, that's why it says the nation that will not serve thee shall utterly perish.
Mm-hmm.
It says, And they answered Joshua and said, Because it was certainly told thy servants how that the Lord thy God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore we were sore afraid of our lives because of you, and have done this thing. And now behold, we are in thine hand. As it seemeth good and right unto thee to do unto us, do. They basically said, do whatever you want to do with us.
That's right.
At least you're not killing us. And so did he unto them, and delivered them out of the hand of the children of Israel, that they slew them not. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of Yahweh, even unto this day in the place which he should choose. Joshua chapter 10 verse 1. Now it came to pass when Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it, as he had done to Jericho and her king, so he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city. as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than I, and all the men thereof were mighty. This is an example of how it mentions Ethiopia early in Genesis. What's it talking about? Like someone will write. You know what I'm talking about?
What are you saying?
Okay, so it said the king of Jerusalem right here, right? And then you know how you have Ethiopia in the beginning of like if I'm writing.
Well, yeah, but that's because it's English though. It was always Cush.
No, it's Jerusalem right here.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. That the Ethiopia, the Ethiopia reference isn't the same thing. Okay. But I know what you're saying here because it wasn't called Jerusalem yet. It'll tell you later in Joshua what Jerusalem was originally called.
I'm saying what's the saying for that though? I can't remember.
It's a historiographical narrative, so it's written after the fact. So terminology sometimes is used as pertinent to the time it was written in versus the time it actually took place. Right? So go ahead.
It says, so he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel, and were among them, that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men thereof were mighty.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Hoham, king of Hebron, and unto Piram, king of Jarmuth, and unto Japhiah, king of Lachish, and unto Deber, king of Eglon, saying, Come up unto me and help me, that we may smite Gibeon, for it hath made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. Therefore the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, gathered themselves together, and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped before Gibeon, and made war against it. And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp to Gilgal, saying, Slack not thy hand from thy servants. Come up to us quickly, and save us, and help us, for all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand. There shall not a man of them stand before thee. Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and went up from Gilgal all night. And Yahweh discomfited them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goeth up to Beth-horon, and smote them to Azekah and unto Makkedah.
So we destroyed them, right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as they fled from before Israel, and were in the going down to Beth-horon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah.
So Yahweh was with us. He was with us so much that he took stones out of heaven, these great stones. I don't know if they were hailstones or what type of stones they were. But as we were chasing them and they were running from us, the Most High sent destruction from on high to destroy these people. Read on.
He's going to tell you, it says, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah, and they died. They were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword.
So we killed them and they running. And you know the Hamite is a fast runner.
Yeah.
Okay, you seen the marathon runners.
They good at long distance.
Long distance. So they dipping.
Yeah.
Israel, you know, Usain Bolt, he was, but the Hamites, they just kept running, right? And Usain was done. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the Most High said, okay, I got something for y'all. And he rained down mighty hailstones. And it killed these people. So the ones that got away, which is the majority of them, they was killed by the hailstones of Yahweh, right? So there's no documentation of Adam having slaves, Brother D-Walk, but go ahead.
Yeah, it says that the hailstones killed more of them than us killing them. Then spake Joshua to Yahweh in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? Mm-hmm. So the sun.
So now they think the book of Jasher that exists now, that was written by a white man in the 1700s, is the actual book of Jasher. That's a lie. Go ahead.
It says, so the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. Mm-hmm. And there was no day like that, before it or after it, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man. For Yahweh fought for Israel. That's
right. So the Most High did as what was requested by Joshua. And there was never a day like this where even something like that ever occurred and that sun stood still. Right? Read on.
It says, and Joshua returned and all Israel with him unto the camps of Gilgal. But these 5 kings fled and hid themselves in a cave at Makkedah. And it was told Joshua, saying, the 5 kings are found hidden in the cave at Makkedah. And Joshua said, roll great stones upon the mouth of the cave and set men by it for to keep them. Oh, bro, this is cold.
Keep them in there.
Yeah.
Essentially imprison them in that cave. Go ahead.
And there's probably, they don't got much food in there, probably not water in there, and there's no light in there probably. So
exactly.
they're in hell in there. Well, that's
exactly, Tiberius. Go ahead.
It says, and stay ye not, but pursue after your enemies, and smite the hindmost of them. Suffer them not to enter into their cities, for Yahweh your God hath delivered them into your hand. And it came to pass, when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they were consumed, that the rest which remained of them entered into fenced cities. And all the people returned into the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Then said Joshua, open the mouth of the cave, and bring out those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said unto the captains of the men of war, which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they came near, and put their feet upon the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom you fight.
That's right. We're gonna put our feet on the necks of our enemies, man. That's what Yahweh is showing us here. So who can come against Israel? Nobody. Not if we serve the Most High in truth and sincerity. We can't be came against. Go ahead.
Baruch 4:25, it says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck.
There you go. Same way now. We have to deal with what we have to deal with, but surely we shall tread upon the neck of our enemies, man. Surely, right? Can't wait to see you as well, sis. Go ahead.
It says, and afterward Joshua smote them and slew them, and hanged them on 5 trees, and they were hanging upon the trees until the evening. And it came to pass at the time of the sun and it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun, that Joshua commanded that, and they took them down off the trees, and cast them into the cave wherein they had been hid, and laid great stones in the cave's mouth, which remain unto this very day. And that day Joshua took Makkedah, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king thereof he utterly destroyed, them and all the souls that were therein. He let none remain. And he did to the king of Makkedah as he did unto the king of Jericho.
So he killed all of them. That's what we're supposed to do when we go in there. We were supposed to exterminate and eradicate these people. Right? Go ahead.
It says, and Joshua passed from Makkedah, and all Israel with him, unto Libnah, and fought against Libnah. And the Lord delivered it also, and the king thereof, into the hand of Israel. And he smote it with the edge of the sword. And I say it every time we read Joshua. I don't mean to do this every time, but it's just so crazy. How can you claim God loves everybody and read the book of Joshua? The Lord gave us a commandment to go into multiple cities and exterminate everybody. There was a time when he told us to exterminate everybody, and God got mad that we didn't exterminate everybody. Sure. This is ridiculous, man. It's literally called Joshua's conquest. Conquest of the Levant. Conquest, not love. It says, then Joshua passed from Makkedah, and all Israel with him, unto Libnah, and fought against Libnah. And the Lord delivered it also, and the king thereof, into the hand of Israel. And he smote it with the edge of the sword. And all the souls that were therein, he let none remain in it, but did unto the king thereof as he did unto the king of Jericho. And Joshua passed from Libnah, and all Israel with him, unto Lachish, and encamped against it, and fought against it. And the Lord delivered Lachish into the hand of Israel, which took it on the 2nd day, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein, according to all that he had done to Libnah. Then Horam, king of Gezer, came up to help Lachish, and Joshua smote him and his people, until he had left none remaining. And from Lachish Joshua passed unto Eglon, and all Israel with him, and they encamped against it, and fought against it. And they took it on that day, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and all the souls that were therein he utterly destroyed that day, according to all that he had done to Lachish. So we're just literally going around to these different cities,
just killing everybody. Sound like a great movie, man. Sound like a damn slasher flick.
Yeah, the Most High. We're in the Most High's movie, and he's the ultimate director. This is better than any Michael Bay film or any of that. This is a complete destruction right here. It says, and Joshua went up from Eglon, and all Israel with him, unto Hebron, and they fought against it. And they took it, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and all the souls that were therein. He left none remaining, according to all that he had done to Eglon, but destroyed it utterly, and all the souls that were therein. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to Debir, and fought against it. And he took it, and the king thereof, and all the cities thereof, and they smote it with the edge of the sword, smote them with the edge of the sword, and utterly destroyed all the souls that were therein. He left none remaining, as he had done to Hebron, so he did to Debir, and to the king thereof, as he had done also to Libnah, and to her king. So Joshua smote all the country of the hills, and of the south, and of the vale, and of the springs, and all their kings, and he left none remaining, but utterly destroyed all that breathed.
Wow. Wow.
Utterly destroyed all that breathed. Anything that had a breath in it was dead.
He killed it.
As the Lord God of Israel commanded. And Joshua smote them from Kadesh Barnea even unto Gaza, and all the country of Goshen even unto Gibeon. And all these kings and their land did Joshua take at one time, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp to Gilgal. This is Joshua 10. This is one of the coldest chapters. Joshua now chapter 11. Where are we reading to?
To 12. The end of 12.
Okay. To the end of 12 or to 12?
The end of 12.
Okay. Joshua chapter 11 verse 1. And it came to pass, when Jabin, king of Hazar, had heard of those things, that he sent to Jobab, king of Madon, and to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Aksaph, and to the kings that were on the north of the mountains, and of the plains south of Chinneroth, and in the valley, and in the borders of Dor on the west, and to the Canaanite on the east, and on the west, and to the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite in the mountains, and to the Hivite under Hemron in the land of Mizpah. It says, and they went out, they and all their hosts with them, much people, even as the sand that is upon the sea, shore in the multitude, with horses and chariots very many. And when all these kings were met together, they came and pitched together at the waters of Merom to fight against Israel. And the Lord said unto Joshua, be not afraid because of them, for tomorrow about this time will I deliver them up, all slain before Israel. Thou shalt hold their horses and burn their chariots with fire. So Joshua came, and all the people of war with him, against them by the waters of Merom suddenly, and they fell upon them. And Yahweh delivered them into the hand of Israel, who smote them, and chased them unto great Zidon, and unto Mishrapoth Maim, and unto the valley of Mizpah eastward. And they smote them until they left none remaining. And Joshua did unto them as the Lord bade him. He houghed their horses and burnt their chariots with fire. And Joshua that time turned back and took Hazor, and smote the king thereof with the sword. For Hazor before time was the head of all those kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
He's like like I said, the head of all the kingdoms. And they smote all the souls that were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them. There was not any left to breathe. And he burnt Hazor with fire. And all the cities of those kings, and all the kings of them did Joshua take, and smote them with the edge of the sword. And he utterly destroyed them, as Moses the servant of Yahweh commanded. But as for the cities that stood still in their strength, Israel burned none of them, save Hazor only, that did Joshua burn. And all the spoil of those cities, and the cattle, the children of Israel took for a prey unto themselves. But every man they smote with the edge of the sword, until he had destroyed them, neither left they any to breathe. As the Lord commanded Moses his servant, so did Moses command Joshua, and so did Joshua. He left nothing undone of all that Yahweh commanded Moses.
That's right. So he did exactly what he was supposed to do, which is eradicate and exterminate these heathens, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says, where are we at now? Okay. So Joshua took all that land, the hills, and all the south country, and all the land of Goshen, and the valley, and the plain, and the mountains of Israel, and the valley of the same. Even from the Mount Halak that goeth up to Seir, even unto Baalgad in the valley of Lebanon, under Mount Hermon, and all their kings he took and smote them and slew them. And Joshua made war a long time with all those kings. There was not a city that made peace with the children of Israel, save the Hivites, the inhabitants of Gibeon. All other they took in battle. So the Hivites, they did the smart thing for their sake, because everybody else was getting killed.
Exactly.
For it was of Yahweh to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle. So God set these people up. The Most High had set these people up to get killed by the children of Israel. God had set these people up so that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans could destroy them.
That's right.
It says, for it was of the Lord. This was of the Lord. Killing this mass extermination was of God. For it was of the Lord to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle, that he might destroy them utterly, and that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them, as the Lord commanded Moses. And at that time came Joshua and cut off the Anakims from the mountains, from Hebron, from Debir, from Anab, and from all the mountains of Judah, and from all the mountains of Israel. Joshua destroyed them utterly with their cities. There was none left of the Anakims left in the land of the children of Israel. Only in Gaza, in Gath, and in Ashdod they remained. So Joshua took the whole land according to all that the Lord said unto Moses. And Joshua gave it...
Which Gaza and Gath and that was, I want to say that was left. We wasn't taking those cities, I don't believe. But go ahead.
So Joshua took the whole land according to all that the Lord said unto Moses. And Joshua gave it for an inheritance unto Israel, according to their divisions by their tribes, and the land rested from war. Okay, this is Joshua chapter 12, verse 1. Now these are the kings of the land, which the children of Israel smote, and possessed their land on the other side Jordan, toward the rising of the sun, from the river Arnon unto Mount Hermon, and all the plain of the east. So we're just about to read about all the kings that we killed, basically. This is going to Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and ruled from Aroer, which is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and from the middle of the river, and from half Gilead, even unto the river Jabbok, which is in the border of the children of Ammon, and from the plain to the sea of Chinneroth on the east, and unto the sea of the plain, even the salt sea on the east, the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and from the south under Ashdoth Pisgah, on the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was of the remnant of the giants that dwell at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and reigned in Mount Hermon, and in Salcah, and in all Bashan, unto the border of the Geshurites, and the Maccathites, and the half Gilead, and border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Them did Moses the servant of the Lord and the children of Israel smite, and Moses the servant of the Lord gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh. And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on this side Jordan on the west, from Baalgad in the valley of Lebanon, even unto the Mount Halak that goeth up to Seir, which Joshua gave unto the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions. In the mountains, and in the valleys, and in the plains, and in the springs, and in the wilderness, and in the south country, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho, 1. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. The king of Jerusalem, 1. The king of Hebron, 1. The king of Jarmuth, 1. Mind you, family, I need y'all to really, really pay attention. We're reading a list of people of kings,
dead bodies,
of kings, specifically kings. These are just the kings that Joshua killed. So I'm gonna start again. It says the king of Jericho, 1, the king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. So that's 2 so far. The king of Jerusalem, 1. The king of Hebron, 1. The king of Jarmuth, 1. The king of Lachish, 1. The king of Heglon, 1. The king of Gezer, 1. The king of Debir, 1. The king of Gedar, 1. The king of Hormah, 1. The king of Arad, 1. The king of Libnah, 1. The king of Abdullam, 1. The king of Makkedah, 1. The king of Bethel, 1. The king of Tapua, 1. The king of Hefer, 1. The king of Aphek, 1. The king of Lasharon, 1. The king of Madon, 1. The king of Hazor, 1. The king of Shimron Meron, 1. The king of Akapash, 1. The king of Ta'anak, 1. The king of Megiddo, 1. The king of Kadesh, 1. The king of Jokanam of Carmel, 1. The king of Dor and the coast of Dor, 1. The king of the nations of Gilgal, 1. The king of Tirzah, 1. All the kings, 30 and 1. 31 kings. You're the 31 days. How about 31 kings?
31 kings.
Okay, that's the end of 12.
All right. Where we at, man? What is this time? All right, we'll open up for questions. I'll praise Yahweh. Sorry for that history. We'll open up for questions for the next 15 or so. We open up for questions, man. That's fine.
Yeah, that's bodies. This is how. Listen, that's how you know these are so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans. We just wrote all the bodies that we caught.
It's true. Yeah, I killed this nigga. I killed this nigga.
And the Lord was with it.
That's right. Well, he commanded it.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even have did it if he wouldn't. If we would have been mad if we didn't do it.
Yeah. 31 kings, family. 31. Just one man, Joshua. That's just one man.
Well, not necessarily one man. That's
I'm saying,
he's being accredited because he's the leader. So
I know.
it's not just one man.
I'm not saying necessarily him personally, but under him, like the same way they'll say Hitler killed 6 million Jews. Which,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of. But any of y'all got questions? Go ahead and ask your questions. What do you think about doing a Genesis discussion soon?
I don't think anything about that.
What does it mean when it says to awake the mighty men?
Basically, get people ready to go to battle.
You read about that, and I think like Joel, like 2 or 3. I think it's 2.
Get them ready for action.
Jay, the Prince of Power. Look up Sicarii, Genesis, serpent, something like that. There's a video done.
Yeah, Sicarii serpent. Type in
Yeah,
Sicarii serpent. Okaba. Who is the serpent in the garden? That's what the video is called.
That might be on water, I think, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Was Joshua commanded to stay? How should I put it? Unseen. What do you mean, Jay Sikor? Do you mean like people wouldn't see Joshua? I don't understand that. Try to rephrase that question, brother. So some are awakened to be prophets and some to be warriors?
No. Wake thee mighty men does not mean some are awakened to be prophets and some are awakened to be warriors. Wake thee mighty men means a mighty man is just sitting in his house or doing whatever. He needs to get ready to go to battle. That's what that means. It has nothing to do with what you're saying, bro.
Why does a non-Israelite have a book in the Bible? I'm assuming you're talking about Ruth.
Oh, that's what you would call a rhetorical question. That question is predicated upon rhetoric. A non-Israelite does not have a book in the Bible. She's a figure in a book, and for whatever reason, it was named after her. The Israelites did not name the book of Ruth the book of Ruth. The book of Ruth is honestly the last 4 chapters of the book of Judges that were later separated out for a purpose of demonstrating something and being a witness against men during the time of Ezra and Nehemiah. But don't ask rhetorical questions.
Let's see.
Just for the record, that book, the point of that book is not about Ruth. The point of that book is about David.
Yeah, Con. Was Joshua sent to be in the highways and byways?
No, why would he be sent to be in the highways and byways? We have a Sicarii sisterhood on Facebook that you can be a part of on Facebook, sister.
Should we be paying attention to this weather as a sign?
What are we paying attention to? It's hot. It's summertime.
Yeah. Especially like if you like where we at in Atlanta, like the weather's always changing. So what's there to pay attention to? Why do you guys say thermonuclear? Can't it just be fire and brimstone? Well, that's where
it's a prophecy, pal. The prophecy is that thermonuclear missiles are going to destroy this place. So that's it. Fire and brimstone, thermonuclear is the same thing.
Yeah, I believe also too when you look at brimstone, sulfur, which I think they have sulfur in certain nuclear weapons as well.
There is no special understanding to have about the Spirit of God moving upon the waters. It's literally what it says. I think they're on drugs or they're crazy. Dolomite Rider. I don't know where to get staffs or armbands. J Black, that's what they say. Or did them. The water the question was based on. Okay, Con, Jason, cool. Do you look for a mighty men to join the camp or as long as you're an Israelite, you can join. You don't got to be a mighty man to join the camp. What's the next high holy day? First fruits, June 23rd.
Zebulon, I think you're talking about where it says the angels on the right, other spirits on the left.
On the yes, 1 Kings 22.
Yeah.
That's right, Tazapanya. Where we at? Can you celebrate first fruits and be uncircumcised? Technically, maybe, but you shouldn't be uncircumcised, period. What do you mean affiliated, Blackjack? We know those brothers. We shalom them brothers. We walk past them every week at camp. Do y'all ever get the feeling that the Most High gonna take y'all out for past transgressions? I do, brother. You gotta stop thinking like that.
I used to think that
that's called a demon of doubt. Stop moving like that.
Yeah, scripture for that, brother. Matter of fact, I think it's Corinthians. Is it Corinthians? It's one of Paul's epistles. I know that.
You need to talk to Deacon D Walk. Yes, Brandon Morton. Y'all is chosen. You need to hit the email. We have people in Ohio, Chicago, in the Midwest right now.
There's a scripture for the brother worrying about his past sins. Philippians 3:13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. It's like the saying, how you gonna move? How you gonna move forward if you're looking backwards? I think is how the saying goes.
Yeah, exactly. Itamari. Okay, I'll try to put the maps next time. We go by our calendar. That's what calendar we go by. The Lord's calendar. Nothing is to be taken strictly anything in the Bible. That's way too much of a blanket question, Dan. Okay, Brandon. I don't know why, because the Most High said it was okay to eat. I can't explain. I don't understand that technically, but I just know it's okay. Are y'all gonna come to New Orleans again? We never came to New Orleans. The New Orleans trip was called off. I'm not sure if we're gonna reorganize that. That was a trip that we were going on with HOI, so I'll leave that to HOI. I'm ready to go when they are. Most High willing. Okay, but how does that relate to the first question that you asked? No, there's never a fee to attend the summit. I mean, the fringes women wear and the fringes men wear are the same fringes, brother. So I don't understand what you mean. Okay, so Dan, I want to explain how illogical your line of questioning is. You're saying is everything in the Torah to be taken literally because some of it is primitive and it's the 21st century, right? So, but wait a minute, you're admitting that it literally had an application when it was written. You're just saying that some of it is impractical today. So you answered your own question. Dresses with fringes and fringes are two different things, brother. I just want to make sure that's understood. You want to get dresses, DeaconSicarii.com. We're not going to be at Minute Maid for long. We'll be at Minute Maid for probably 2 hours, probably noon to 2. And then I got to go, do this wedding. No, Dan, that's extremely illogical. Extremely illogical. Show me, okay, 613. So show me 300 commandments that we need to take out right now. So give me 300. Give me 30. Give me 10% of it. Give me 30. Very illogical line of thinking, brother. Shalom to Carolina. Don't let them work you too hard, brother. First off, before I answer, you're asking me a question that's outside the Torah. Before I answer your question, show me 300 commandments show me 30 commandments that are impractical today. 30. Tiberius, man, hit me up on a personal, man, and we can figure it out. I don't cost a lot. Going on GMS out on the video once. Do you still rock with them? With their views on the Bible now? I haven't dealt with GMS in years. Deacon Music page too, y'all. One of them all praises. First Timothy 4:13. Who you talking about? My clothing line should come out tomorrow, 6/13. Urban Gorilla. So look out for that. UrbanGorilla.com. URBNGRLA.com. Got a lot of different shirts, a lot of different colorways available through the Spirit. So look out for that. I'll put a commercial out on the YouTube channels, post out on YouTube and everything. Feel me? So everybody could tap in. You know, got a lot of different joints for you. We got a special one for the Northern Kingdom. Northern Kingdom, I did a special Toronto Raptors joint. I know Toronto be wearing that North jersey. Matter of fact. Go ahead.
Okay, Blackjack. Let me show you something. This is to answer your question. I think the scripture is John 20 and 28, where Thomas says, "My Lord and my God." Let me show you. First off, you gotta understand the word God. You're trying to What Christians will try to do, and I know why you're asking the question, is take an English word for God and then use it as a blanket statement to prove that because someone is called God, that means that they're the Most High or the Supreme Being. Well, just all the word God in that scripture means comes from it's the Greek word theos, okay, which would be like the Hebrew equivalent Elohim or Elohim, right? And we know that Moses is called Elohim. All the children of Israel are Elohim. So does that make them the Most High? But let me read you another verse where someone is called God, but that doesn't make them the Most High. This is 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 1. When I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights afore. Right? So this is Ezra speaking to the angel. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my God. Because when you go to the Hebrew word for Elohim, it's just a
power.
A power, exactly. So Christ would be a power. All the children of Israel are
a power and a Lord, yeah.
Christ called the children of Israel
gods. Yes, but in the Greek, Christ is never called Theon. And that's how we know. But real quick, let me give y'all a little preview of this. Real quick. Where's the window? Let me give y'all a preview real quick. Okay, so as y'all can see, we got a couple women's joints. We got these Yahweh over everything's real quick. You see we got the white and burgundy, the yellow and burgundy, the navy and burgundy. See, boom, all sizes, large to 5XL, okay. We got the female joint. You can get the Yahweh over everything in the pink, the white. Got the yellow for the women, red, all that. Large to 2XL, or small to 2XL, my fault. Of course, we got the Viva YASHARAHLA for the, look, we got it for the babies, nigga, 6 months to 24 months. White or black. And then for the adult men, we got a few different black, royal blue, navy blue, red, you know. Oh, this is for the Northern Kingdom, the Raptors theme. Y'all see that? Y'all want to get on that? And I got it in purple for you. You know, so we got a few things popping. We got a few things. Oh yeah, for Lloyd Levi, my Levi's. You see that? We got the South Beach Miami Heat joint going down. You know, we got flavors, man. What questions?
I just to add on to the brother's question about John 20:28. Paul called another person God. Does he mean he's the Most High? Watch this. Acts 23:4. And they that stood by said, Revilest thou God's high priest? Then said Paul, I was not, brethren, that he was the high priest, for it is written, Thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people. That's Exodus 22:28. Don't revile the gods or curse the ruler of thy people. So Paul, I love for a Christian to explain that, because if if Christ is God because he's called Theos, then that means the high priest has got to be a part of this triune Godhead too, because he's called Theos too,
Exactly.
by the Apostle Paul, whom the Christians are always going to say he was taught by Christ directly.
Which is not true. But yeah, nah, fringes don't come on there. Fringes do not come on these shirts. If you want fringes on these shirts, you can order directly through our brother Danyala, which is Hebrew as I clothing co. Everybody will be prompted on this, and it'll be on the website. You can order directly through him, and if you want fringes on it, you order through him, and then the order will be sent directly to him. He'll fringe it and then send it out to you. Okay? So that's how it goes. How you get fringes is go to the store, bro. They're at Michael's. They're at Joanne Fabric. So you'll be prompted on how to get the fringes or zits to go with these. Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co., which is the brother Danyala Bunyamin in the chat. He got ZZ all kind of colorways, fringes all kind of colorways. So if you go to buy these things, you'll be prompted on how to get them. Okay, it'll all be there. Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co. on Instagram or Facebook, and you'll be prompted on how to order, or you could even hit email us directly. There'll be an email. You'll have all of it will be in the information when y'all go to if y'all go to purchase it. It'll be there if you wanna get them with fringes. But they themselves, they're coming directly from a manufacturer, so they're not coming with fringes. Some people get their own fringes. Some people are particular about the kind of fringes they like. So, it's all here. But yeah, we got this Jesus Black Identity Extremist. All right, there's one colorway, men, women, and children joints. The menorah joints. Call of Duty, Guerrilla Warfare, and a few different flavors. The Lord is a man of war for the men and the children. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and we got a oil coming out, Gorilla Mist Platinum and Blue. 2 new flavors. For Issachar too. We got a few things for the north again. Issachar, we got the No Malanchismo. Issachar, know what time it is with that. What else we got? Oh yeah, let me not go over this. We got the Script City, themed after the Trailblazers, Rip City. Site, Urban, Gorilla, URBNGRLA.com. All praises, Tiberius. All praises. Script City, boom. We got the Shemai, the graffiti Shemai YASHARAHLA, Yahweh Allah Yahweh Yahweh Akkad. We got that on the shirt in a few different colorways. Right? We got that Raptors, that purple and red Raptors joint. So yeah, man, we got a few joints for y'all. We got this Northern Kingdom joint in white too. And red.
That's like the Raptor. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the North, yeah.
It's because the North. That was
Yeah.
clever. I didn't even know he did that. That was clever. That was cool.
See, we trying to do it, man.
Okay.
We trying to do it in the spirit. Yeah, this menorah one too. We got a lot of different flavors for this one. You feel me? Where is this one at? Matter of fact, this royal blue we got. So try to get the colorways up. We know brothers like to wear the different colors. I mean, hey, if he don't want to wear fringes, we weren't the only nation to wear fringes ever. The Assyrians wore it too. So, but ours were a little bit different. Who designed the shirt? I designed all the shirts. But it's a little bit of help with some of them. Like the graffiti ones, the brother Izan. Those are his. The Yahweh and the calligraphy like this. He did the Yahweh part. The Shemai is totally his. But other than that, these are my designs. The brother Nakwai did this one, but it was my concept. So, he did that one for me. Izan also did this menorah. But other than that, this is you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is me. Colorways for days. Now y'all let them know. Yeah, the heathens, they gonna follow. Listen, bro, we was in a matter of fact, I was with Soldier Taza Doc on Black Friday. We was at the mall in Dallas, in Mesquite, you know, my favorite mall, Town East Mall. Bro, and why a sodomite tried to stop us and is asking about the fringes on the shirt, like he just liked the way it looked. It was a brother, but he was a damn sodomite. So look, man, people are gonna start catching on once they see these fringes really popping. Like people are gonna just be wearing them, not even knowing or not even caring.
Yeah, especially hold on.
All praises, Jay, the Prince of the Power. I'm telling y'all, tomorrow. I mean, to be real, y'all can technically start ordering now if you wanted to. There's nothing stopping you. It's up and running. But like I'm officially launching on Thursday, 6/13. You know what I'm saying? Over the commandments, 6/13 after the commandments. So, you know, that's when we're gonna go real. Try to go real big and have everything. I just got a couple little things on the side I need squared away, but they're ready to go now. So, you know, if a nigga wanted to order one, you could. You see what I'm saying? There you go, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like they just like the way it look. It's especially the way brothers be doing it. You know, we know what we doing. You know what I mean? And speaking of which too, y'all look out for this too coming. Now that we're talking about fringes, hold on real quick. Y'all look out for this coming very soon. Very soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look, I'm getting ready to put my first artist out.
Yeah.
Getting ready to put my first artist out. You know, officer in the camp. We're getting ready to put my first artist out. What we at?
We got artists. I'm finna just be like P. Diddy doing a music video.
Just dancing in the back.
Right. Maybe spit some here and there.
You know.
Sing on a hook.
Take that. You're just gonna be in the back. Take that.
Right.
Take that.
Right.
You know. Where is it at? Right here. So yeah, we got when we talking about fringes, we got a huge record that's getting ready to come out. Officer the Bach getting ready to put out his album, and first single on it's gonna be Fringes. Just waiting for this video now. Featuring of course Brian Casey from Jagged Edge, who's aka Soldiers Yar in the camp. You know, so that's gonna be powerful. See, I look out for that too. You know, coming real soon. Real soon. You know, but yeah, man. He'll be Suge Knight for his well, but yeah, but with that, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and say Shalom.